What's going on, Gemini? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an exceptional week so far. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Gemini, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. But yeah, Gemini, with this weekly spread, moving on. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said there, Gemini, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Gemini. Now I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, Gemini, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Oh, interesting, Gemini. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check it out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for an astrologer that I like watching there, Gemini, and also some other readers that I like watching. So definitely check that out. I've just hooked up that description box, so you definitely check that out when you get a chance there, Gemini. But let's get into your first card here, because this is a pretty heavy energy. Because you got the Orphaned card here, Gemini. And this energy is giving me a very kind of, it's interesting that this is the fifth card here, because this is giving me very kind of like a five of pentacles type of energy, where some we may feel, it's like a five of pentacles, five or three of swords, where we may be feeling this really sort of lonely type of energy here, maybe feeling kind of left out in the cold, be really just kind of left to sort of fend for ourselves. It's like we've been waiting for, it's almost like we've been waiting for, it's like something to return here, Gemini, with this, how this figure here is just kind of waiting in this nest, and it's, and I'm not sure, Gemini, if this is something where we feel just like maybe we're feeling this orphaned energy in general. You know, maybe if even for some we might even be, if this, I know this won't resonate with anyone, but maybe we might even be feeling or have learned this sort of like, or I don't know, it's like this absence that we maybe even be trying to filling, or maybe trying to fill here, Gemini. That's even curious. And it doesn't necessarily, because for some this could even be, you know, maybe we're more orphaned in a sense, and you know, maybe we might even be coming to that sort of reconciliation, or just feels like that there was maybe even a model that we might have been missing. You know, sidebar, Gemini, and I'm still, you know, getting this all built up, so I do have a bunch of charts at my that I do have downloaded that I look over, but this energy is almost kind of giving me, and this is actually one thing that I learned from the astrologer, or an interesting idea that that the astrologer that I linked down had brought up. But if you have Saturn retrograde in your sign, which Saturn is retrograde for a good chunk of the year, usually at least 6 months at a time, but if you were born with Saturn retrograde, that usually can indicate that there was an absent. Saturn is, you know, being ruled over, that rules over Capricorn. It could be a father possibly, but it's yeah, just some sort of absent energy there. Maybe for some, it's just some. Let me get some tarot on this Gemini and get some details with this. Let's see what's going on with that. Because the five energy too, that's the energy of the Hierophant. And I feel like even for some, we might be looking for a teacher possibly, or Yeah, let me see, or just something, some sort of like maybe even like a mentor here, but yeah, let me see what's going on with this energy here, Gemini, because that's a tough start. One of your cards here, the Ten of Swords. All right, Gemini. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. All right, Gemini. So you have the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups, the small little reversal storm here. The Ace of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and then the Hanged One in reverse. And then you have the Ten of Swords upright here, Gemini. And that's interesting because I do feel for some that maybe we did have something that didn't quite go through as planned here with the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands being in reverse, that we were either just, the Ten of Swords can be a card of betrayal, but maybe just we were hit with an energy that just really hurt us really, really sharply there, Gemini. And now it's gotten you in this kind of hazy sort of state, like how this background is very kind of cloudy, sort of bleak type of energy here, kind of foggy. It's even giving me this Ace of Swords being in reverse here. And it feels like, and it's interesting, Gemini, because it feels like with this Ten of Wands Hanged One in reverse energy, is that there's this. It feels that we may need to. And this feels really kind of a somber type of energy there, Gemini. I was thinking, oof, like Cancer sun is starting to show here, but it feels that there's something that we maybe for some we may need to sit with, whatever this Ten of Swords is, and find, because yours is a sign of duality, Gemini, and the Ten of Swords, where it is an intense card, it is seeing, understanding the duality of something that happened here. Because yes, there's this whatever has happened here, not doubting that it didn't hurt for a second, but the sun that's on this horizon here is supposed to signify that there are brighter times coming through this, that we're not always just going to be in this Ten of Swords energy, but it's going to be one that we're going to need to do something in order to alleviate this burden, to assuage that, Gemini. And yeah, this Hanged One here is giving me this sense of needing to free yourself, to get into this, to understand why. And Virgo kind of had something a little similar here, but I feel this is more so kind of like sitting with yourself and really kind of contemplating some deeper things here. This is giving me, and because like I feel like a relation, something happened with a relationship, and we even jumped into something too soon, possibly, or maybe there's let me get a little bit more with this Ten of Wands here, Gemini, before we move on from here. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, Gemini, so the Ten of Wands is clarified by the Seven of Wands in reverse. And, there's this. It just seems like that we may be kind of processing a lot here, Gemini, and it feels like there's a lot of energies that we may be kind of feeling, a lot of things that may be coming up for you at once, or maybe there might even be a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of people, but maybe those that are maybe concerned or who are kind of privy to whatever this situation is that happened. And I almost feel like that it's not necessarily that we're getting criticized, but I just feel like there's a need to kind of isolate your energies in a sense, again, to kind of process something here, really kind of understand it's. And Gemini, I feel like if this is some sort of breakup, or if there's someone that may have, it's this departure that I feel like that has happened, and it's just sort of thrown the flow off, and we're not sure where to go next. It's hmm. Yeah, I feel that it's not trying to carry that out down as a weight, because, and it's just like kind of like if this is a breakup, for example, and let's say there was some sort of betrayal here, or some sort of like something that really kind of hurt you there, Gemini, where yes, that we're not absolving the person of what they've done, but I feel like it's not just focusing on the done. It's like, what has that taught you? What sort of lessons did we learn into that? Did we move things too fast? Was there certain signs that we didn't pay attention to? Was there, just these questions that we kind of could ask for ourselves? But it does feel like it's one that it's going to be where, not necessarily that no one can answer what you'll give you the answers that you're looking for, but I feel like a lot of it's going to be, or some of it's going to be spent kind of connecting with yourself and doing that self-care type of energy. But I think I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. Just something to think about. But let's get another oracle on the mix. Hmm. Interesting. All right. Thank you. All right, Gemini. Virgo got this card too. So you got the Y card here, Gemini. And I feel like, and that's kind of what I was kind of feeling earlier here. It's like, for some, it's like we're sort of processing like why something happened here. Why did we maybe feel like we were kind of left alone here? Why? Hmm. And it feels that maybe for some it's just like because we've been so focused on this why that we haven't been able to move forward in this, that we haven't been able to find that peace. And Gemini, I feel that maybe for some we may not be able to get that answer as to why something may have transpired the way that it did, in that it's interesting. It's like that we may not get that answer that we're looking for. So it's like finding a way to make, it's like a making a peace with that, and instead of trying to figure out why something happened, it's like asking a different, instead of the why, it's like the what did I get from this? Where is this going to take me from here? Who am I going to be? Who do I want around me during this time? When will I, just like asking different, I feel like kind of questions with this, as opposed to that why I feel could lead to this spiral. There's like probably a thousand reasons why something could have happened there, and I just fear there's this, not fear, but I feel that there's this overthinking energy that could be coming into this here, Gemini. And considering too that your ruler um is in Capricorn right now, and it's going to be going retrograde here. We still got a little bit. I think we have another week or so before for Mercury's going to go retrograde. But I feel that even though your ruler is in Capricorn, because Capricorn is an energy that is focused on the achievement of things, and that could be something too that maybe we might be distracting ourselves something with like work, or keeping ourselves busy in order to not deal with something there, Gemini. So that's something you want to be mindful of when you're in that Capricorn energy, because you can get a lot done, but I do feel that with Capricorn, they tend to push their feelings aside. So, and just making sure that we are giving space to understand why something happened here or what we're gonna do with this information. But let me get some tarot on this. On this Gemini, and get some details with this. Alright, Gemini, let's see what's going on here. Alright, so you have the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And then you have the Five of Cups and the Three of Pentacles upright here, Gemini. And I feel with this Eight of Pentacles here, I feel that for some it's almost, I feel for some that when I was considering, I was just talking about that your ruler Mercury being in Capricorn. I do feel for some that we may be trying to, again, to kind of distract ourselves maybe with work, or just like not deal with a certain energy, this whatever this sadness is that this orphan card may be giving here. And it and it's interesting with the Seven of Swords here, because I almost feel like there's this energy of this honesty that's needing to be had here. That we, for some, it's like we need to, it's like we're facing a certain reality, in the sense it's like maybe a situation didn't quite go as we went, as we had hoped, and it's definitely made us feel some type of way. But I feel like maybe we've been kind of tricking ourselves into thinking that's everything is fine. But it's doesn't quite feel like it, with the Ten of Pentacles being here. It's like that foundation is not as solidified, and being in that sort of illusory, sort of self deceptive type of energy, I feel like is it feels like that we don't want to try to get into the routine of that with the Eight of Pentacles. There's something that we need to work through here with the Three of Pentacles. And this might be something too, Gemini. Maybe this could be someone where we kind of talk with someone about this. Maybe we've been in this, if this is not where we felt isolated, maybe we've been kind of isolating ourselves, like we've been in this sort of almost like kind of wallowing energy. And now it's time to get out there and maybe express some of these feelings, share some of these things, talk about some of these challenges here, in order to kind of change the direction where the energy is going, in a sense. But because I feel with like the Five of Cups, how this figure's usually just focused on the fact that these three cups have fallen here, that they'll never get filled up again, even though it's got a whole river right in front of them. But also there are these two cups that have been filled behind them, and that's where I feel like that's where, yeah, this realization is kind of coming in, this truth is coming in with the Seven of Swords. But and it's interesting, Gemini, like I'm take it as it resonates. But I just, there's, with that Seven of Swords, I feel there's we've been asking a question of why something is the way that it is, but when we know the answer to it, but I feel like really facing that and understanding the gravity of that still hasn't quite settled in yet. And I'm not saying we're forcing that thing, Gemini. I feel like it's taken in chunks as it makes sense for you, but just, I feel like just making sure that we are having a game plan on this, and kind of that we are kind of actively, even if it's baby steps, working on whatever this, because the Five of Cups is this sort of like emotional upheaval type of energies, can be really kind of intense there. It can even get into the sort of like reactive, and this is Mars and Scorpio. So But also, this energy is Mars in Scorpio, and it does make you more resilient. Once we face the disappointments, the things in life that have happened, we those energies don't necessarily have to define us in a sense, or define someone in a sense. We can grow from this, and energies and people, they can change, the action, but it's the actions that need to change in order to follow suit with that, get everything else in line there, Gemini. But all right, I think I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. So yeah, let me get these cards organized here, and then let's get your last oracle card. All right, Gemini. Interesting. All right, so you have the what's this? Oh, Between Worlds card here, Gemini, and you know that's curious, Gemini, because I feel with this that it almost feels like you're kind of dual energy here. That duality. There's some that we want to move on into this brighter kind of technicolor future here with everything's pink and vibrant, but there's something here in this past that I feel like in order to, because look at that, you kind of come from this gray background here. It's like something that's needing to be addressed here in order for us to cross between these worlds of disappointment and maybe sadness and things into this energy of acceptance and growth and hang with me, Gemini, because you got these little streamers and things that are, I don't know how well you can see that, Gemini, but these little, like little party things that you would throw up in the air. I feel like they're coming this time of celebration where we understand why something needed to happen, maybe why we needed to be alone in a certain situation, or, it even feels like for some we may be in this sort of like limbo state, possibly like you're just kind of, yeah, again, like just sort of stuck between worlds and there's no sort of direction here. And there's this need to, it's to just to kind of journey within to find out why. And I feel like that's where the key is to this unlocking the answers that we're looking for here, Gemini. But let me get your tarot cards here and see if I can get a little bit more of this Between Worlds energy. Thank you. All right, last little bit here, Gemini. Hmm. Look at you, Gemini. All right. So you have and that's interesting there, Gemini. So you have the Six of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Cups in reverse. And then you have the Star card, and then there you are, Gemini, the Lovers here, upright. And let's switch back over here, Gemini, because that's interesting. I do feel that, for some, we are just like, I feel this Lovers is getting this caught in between worlds type of energy. We're almost at this kind of precipice in this sense. Like I feel for some it's like we're kind of trapped maybe in a certain past type of situation, maybe whatever that Ten of Swords is, that orphan energy, something here that has that Two of Cups in reverse. And I even feel, might need to get a little bit more of that Three of Cups there, Gemini. But this Eight of Wands energy just feels like that things have just stagnated a little bit. And your ruler was just in Sagittarius not too long ago. Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sag, but now we're in this sort of place of growth now, and I feel like, I don't know, there's this for some, there's this, because the Lover's card can be a card of choices, and I feel that there's this thing where we're in between worlds right now. We're getting ready to get to tap into this potential here with the star and start creating some sort of new reality here, whatever that's looking like. But I feel it's like, for some, it's like, why are we not making that next move, and whatever that is, and meeting yourself with that compassion there, Gemini. But I even feel with this, there's something here about this orphan can feel like that energy does feel sad, like maybe for some we were left behind, but not even left behind, but maybe even feeling this sense of abandonment. But it even feels that there's this need to not necessarily not celebrate, but again, I'm getting like a hermit type of energy there, to just kind of evaluate where things are at right now, especially if you've been in this sort of limbo type of energy, and just being mindful too, I feel, of these distractions, because the Three of Cups is very sort of, that's a tricky energy sometimes. It can be it's not the prelude to a devil moment like the Seven of Cups is, but it's like the intro. Like it's just like a small little intro there. Like some shenanigans may be afoot there. So, hmm. Let me get a little bit on your card, Gemini lovers here before we get out of here. Oh, okay. Thank you. Let me grab these cards and let's see what's going on here. Hmm. All right, so the lovers is clarified by the Four of Cups in reverse, and then you have the Moon card and the Three of Wands upright. And whenever the Moon and the Seven of Swords are within a reading, again, there's that gives me a lot of murkiness that goes on there, and I feel that there's a need for kind of this transition or this moving on energy here with the Three of Wands. It's like, where do we go from here? Where are we taking these energies next? You're kind of caught in between this with this sadness, this indecisiveness, whatever this is, and now this lovers is like, we have a choice to make. And I feel like being mindful of just paying attention to the signs where things have getting out of hand, where the universe is trying to present you opportunities in order to move on, Gemini. Because even the Four of Cups can be this sort of apathetic type of energy that's not caring, almost maybe even like nihilistic, like not, especially if we're dealing with a lot of heavy energies here. So yeah, I just feel like it's something you want to be mindful of, Gemini, with these, where the choices that we make are going to be kind of important going forward here, and really kind of reflecting on where you're channeling. Hmm. But hopefully that makes sense, Gemini. I think I'm going to leave that there. But if anything resonated with you, Gemini, give it a thumbs up. Love that. And share this, Gemini. If you know someone who's been, I don't know, been feeling kind of down or alone, or just really kind of asking these questions, why just sort of just caught in between, yeah, that in between worlds is a very interesting one. Just like, feels like that the twins aren't on the same page there, Gemini. You know how that can be when those two are arguing. It can be a hot mess. So just something to pay attention to. And subscribe there, you lover. Hit that. That's kind of weird to call. You know what I mean, though, Gemini. You're the lover's card. But hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each week. And then last little bit, if you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the charity, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss the lunar shenanigans. Pisces popped up for Virgo too. Very fascinating. And all that housekeeping there. Gemini is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Gemini. And you got the Knight of Pentacles here. In Gemini, I feel this Knight of Pentacles here is kind of asking, what's your game plan, in a sense. I feel like it's like either we've been in a certain energy here for a while, and it's time to kind of start getting things moving, or it's like you know, if we've been wondering as to why, just like our Ten of Pentacles here, like something I feel like hasn't been grounded with the Ten of Pentacles, or maybe things haven't, the energies haven't been moving like we thought they would, or as fast as we would like to here. It's just like, what can we do? Why is that going down? What blockages are in our way? What choices are we making? You know, like how are, and even that Seven of Wands, what maybe even decisions of others and energies of others are might be getting in our way as well there, Gemini. So I feel this is a very kind of energy of just kind of getting your thoughts grounded and just kind of getting this foundation a little more solidified here, whatever that's looking like, because it does, everything just kind of feels a little kind of not swampy, but kind of boggy, kind of. Because anything, you know, you got Mercury, Pisces. I felt like I just said this, but you got Neptune and Pisces here. Both, you know, Neptune rules in Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces, and actually, that's fascinating too, because you technically got Neptune in retrograde here, being Neptune in reverse. But Neptune's, depending on when you're watching this, Neptune is going direct today on the 6th. So just something to be aware of there, Gemini. But let's get your other oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. All right. Thank you. Interesting. Speaking of Capricorn, so you got the Spirit Guardian of Winter, which is basically Capricorn, which is the retreat card here, Gemini. And that's why it's like that retreat is giving me like that, where I was talking about that hermit energy. I feel there's a need to kind of retreat and figure out what's the game plan here, to kind of sit in some reflection. I feel there's a difference between this lonely energy that the orphan is giving me and being alone here, Gemini, and just kind of retreating within, you know, like Seven of Wands, creating your own little protective bubble there, and just kind of meditating as far as like, what are our next steps, where are we going from here, how are we tapping into this potential, you know, what yeah, we're just, where are we going from here. So, and you know, Gemini, I'm just just kind of picturing there. That's an interesting little image. But like how you know, with snow globes, I feel like, you know, when you first shake them up, it's like the snow's all over the place. You don't know what the hell's going on. But it's like once that stuff that, you know, like sitting in that storm allows you to like to process that, and then when we stop fighting it, and we just sort of allow the storm to just go sit with that energy, and then as the flakes start to settle, then it's like we get a clear view of where to go. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. But you stay safe out there with this energy, these questions of why, between worlds, kind of some deeper stuff here, Gemini. I feel like that's kind of being thought about. So yeah, just be safe out there, self-care, 2 of Cups, all that good stuff. Raise your vibration through the roof, you know. Yeah, because, and you know, even like the star card, the star is a card of healing there, Gemini. Maybe we just got through a tower situation, and we're just kind of processing this stuff here, whatever this epiphany, this change, and whatever this shift might be going on there, Gemini. So just stay safe out there, and I will catch you on the next one later.